Welcome back to the weekly Forex cast. I want to be getting right into it, man. Covering potential setups I have, some of the top setups on my watch list for the week. This past trading week was a real volatile week, right? We have FOMC, we had a lot of different rate decisions, different fundamental events come through, and we had the dollar here make a bigger correction. All right, looking at it on the weekly, right? We saw dollar have a corrective play and push pretty much back into this level of demand. All right. Now, how the week ended, we look at this on the daily. The week ended finding some bullish price action right here, finding support. All right. Looking to the left, this is roughly an area of structure that price is now finding support from. Okay. Because this right here, this is a level of support structure. So now we're seeing price, the price had like a bounce in the past. Now we're seeing price hold and close above it. And with that, we had some of the pairs show reaction to end the week, right? Going in line with the strength of this dollar that ended. All right. So to start the week, I'm going to be bullish on the dollar. All right. You might see some type of corrective move happen first, but overall, I will expect another bullish wave to come on the dollar index. All right. And this week, it was a lot of volume in the yen pairs as well. So I'm going to be covering those. But first, starting with all USD. All right. So this is going right along with some of the dollar strength we're now seeing coming in the end of the week. It was a lot of like volume and like liquidity press coming into the market. So we can see if we look at this on a weekly, price had a bearish engulfing breakdown right here, right? So we had that bearish engulfing, and looking to the left, it broke below this structure right here. It was support structure, it broke below. So now we're getting this retest, all right? So price is still within structure. So FOMC came out and everything, price started pumping. It looked like, okay, maybe, it started pumping when the dollar was still falling. But you can see right here, looking at this on the daily, this was just liquidity press. Look at these wicks. Wick there, little pin wick rejection right there. And then right after that, you see price still closing below structure. All right, so this is how you know when you start to see this type of price action, that's how you know it was just a liquidity or a stop hunt. It wasn't, it was a fake out, because we had a bearish engulfing right here on the daily, which had me leaning towards continued sales on this retest. But when you get around news like FOMC, more often than not, expect some type of manipulation. All right. Expect some manipulation. This was the manipulation. This was a liquidity move. And then we got the close back below. So now seeing this daily candle close, bearish engulfing, going into next week, I'm going to be continuing to look for potential sales here on AU. All right. So on a smaller time frame, like break this down, doing a top-down analysis, we can see, price give some type of pullback. Oops. All right. So on these pullbacks, on these corrective moves, right, a corrective opportunity, I will expect price to set up to continue to fall. All right. So I will at least expect price to come back down to this low, but we can very much so create a lower low. All right. So once price come and actually come down and break through this level and create a lower low, then you can expect price to come even further down. All right. Possibly around like 0.5, 0.65, around this structure level. All right, AU respects the quarter levels pretty solid. So 0.65, we can see price potentially come down into this level here. All right, so that's AU, bearish bias. Now EU also ended the week. We had some Euro flash services come in. Euro across the board had a fall. So early, for the week, really EU was pumping, right? It was pumping into FOMC, but then we see price pushed into this level of structure. Look to the left, it's a previous level of support. All right. If we look further to the left, you see in the past, this is a level that was strong support in the past. It broke below, retested, and continued. So this is a major level of structure that price is now rejecting from. Way back here, this was a major level of demand in the past. So price is now respecting that as resistance. So that's something key. So really, when I saw this type of price action right here, we got a shooting star on the daily. That's a high indication, a high probable indication that price is likely losing steam to now roll over. All right, we got the shooting star on the daily, which is strong confirmation. We're going on to the 4 hour. Along with that, we had this bearish engulfing right here. So really the end of the week, once I saw this, I had a sell limit. I was looking for price to slightly pull up and then fall, but it just tanked. It just dropped. So I missed that move because of that. But that doesn't mean that it won't be an opportunity next week. All right, so now going into next week, we could look for something like this. 1 second, if we take this down even to the 1 hour, can adjust this, what we're looking at. I will adjust my counter trend line here. So we got a nice firm break. Nice firm break of our trend line. I'll do my trend lines wick to wick. You'll see some people draw the trend lines. Trust me, wick to wick is the best. You'll see people drawing their trend lines through bodies and through I don't believe that's a good way to draw, babe. To each his own. But we had a firm breakdown right here. Impulsive move right here. So now I'm looking for on this correction, right? Form like some type of bearish flag, corrective move, and look for that to continue down. Because now you can see prices creating like lower highs. We got the high here, lower high here, lower high here, and we got a breakdown. So I'm looking for price to form another lower high and then continue down. All right. So what I really would look for or expect, ideally I'm looking for or I expect price to stay below this daily candle. All right. Okay, so if you see where that lines up at, it lines up with that lower high. So I expect price to stay below this lower high, which will be below that daily candle that we see, that daily close. All right, so that's EU, bearish bias. GU had a fall as well. All right, same thing with GU. It looked like it was setting up for a fall. If we look at some price action here as well, real quick, this is some structure. Adjust this. So this structure within here, all right, previous structure support before price broke through. That's where price rejected from. So same thing here on the daily, we got a bit of a shooting star, pin bar type rejection, right? Showing price exhaustion that the bears are coming in. And now to end the week, we got this bearish engulfing on the daily. All right, so we could be setting up and we got a nice rejection forming on the weekly. So we could be setting up for a fall. This look like a potential head and shoulders as well with this here, but this shoulder is kind of high. It's kind of equal with that head. So, you could ignore that really, but that's possible. But we got a nice rejection forming. So this is what I would look at going into the week with GU. I will still be leaning towards potential sales. All right, so I'll take it like this. Real quick, take my counter trend line. All right, you see where price is at now. Price basically is respecting that trend line a bit. I'll put it with that wick right there. All right, respecting the trend line. So I would say either look for price to pull up. All right, this is the high of price action or the high. All right, this is a minor little lower high structure. So either a pull, a corrective play within here and then catch that wave, or you could wait for price to break below structure and then look to catch those pullbacks or those retest opportunities. All right, but overall, I would expect price to stay below this bearish engulfing. All right, so this bearish engulfing here, this is the high of the candle. I put a horizontal ray right there and you see it lines up with basically that little lower high shoulder. So if price does correct a bit within here, all right, you could possibly look for that move there. All right, if it pulls within here, my stop loss would be like above that structure, and then you could catch a nice potential risk to reward setup with that type of pullback. Look to catch that breakdown. All right, if it don't give you that pullback early, you could look for price to break down, something like this. Boom, catch the next pullback or retest, and catch the next wave down. All right, that's GU. I'm looking for potential sales. Gold. Gold was a nice sell to end the week. All right, it was a nice sell to end the week. All right, it pushed into this major psychological level, 2,000. All right, if you look to the left here on the weekly, this is a major level of supply. In the past, where price had a big drop. So this is a level that price is definitely going to react at. All right, because last time it was up here, Price drop. Man, 3,800 pips. All right. So that was a big fall right there. That's a big range. So now price is respecting. We got like a doji here. We got a nice daily rejection. So this is basically like a double top right here that's formed. All right. Because price came here, respected it, and fell. Now we back at this level and we're rejecting again. All right. So right here, price formed a double top. This was the high of Thursday. This was the high of Friday. All right. So it formed that double top right there. Rejection, retest, continue to break down. And look how on this retest, it gave you like this bearish engulfing type action, slight pullback. Right. This is the type of price action that, we really like to see to start looking to catch that breakdown. Right. And then price fell. All right. So now I'd say look for a pullback. So that was here on the 1 hour. That is a double top. All right. So I'd like to see some type of pullback within this neckline structure, like somewhere within here. Somewhere within here. All right. Price could possibly pull back, retest within here, and then set up for that fall. But overall, I expect price to definitely stay below, really stay below the body of this bearish engulfing, ideally, which is here. But overall, over definitely below this high. So it depends on the type of risk to reward. But if price comes in here, respects, starts to reject, you could look to sell that breakdown. All right, on gold. Man, the GJ. So GJ, EJ, man, was major moves. Really JPY all across the board. UJ, right? All JPY pairs was crazy moves that took place. All right, so let me clean some of this up because there were different opportunities that happened here on GJ. So I caught this personally. So this is what I saw when I caught this move. If I look at this from a daily perspective, right? So we could see GJ had a big fall from this level, right? Broke down, retest within structure, rejection. There was a lot of rejection here. All right, but the move that I caught this week, right? Seeing all these wicks, I was a bit iffy. But once price gave a strong daily rejection from this level, like this type of rejection right here, this candle, I was looking for continued sales on the pullback. All right, so we had another breakdown, close back below this level, because if we look to the left, this is a level of structure. This is a level of resistance in the past, turn support. All right, so once price break a structure level like that, firm close below, you look to continue to trade below that, maybe on the retest or the pullbacks. All right, so if I go down to, let's say, the 4 hour, you can see right here, boom. Okay, this was the play. So I had a sell on GJ, a sell limit that actually was too early, because initially I was looking to sell here, got stopped out. All right, but I was fine because I was still like looking at the 4 hour and I was like, okay, this is still bearish market structure. We got the high here. All right, we got this lower high, and this was set up for another lower high drop. All right, so really seeing that, I was like, okay, this is another opportunity to catch this drop. So you see here on the day, we call it a bearish engulfing on the 4 hour. Then you had a firm break below. So once I saw that firm break below, back below structure, I was entering on this pullback or this retest here. Price came back, retested structure, continued drop. All right, so that was a beautiful play. All right, I basically was selling the breakdown of this bearish flag. Once I saw price was holding on the retested structure, I sold this breakdown. But there was another opportunity here. This is why market structure is key. Look at that. Price broke that structure. Once it broke below structure there, structure support, retest, another entry opportunity here, continuation, and just continued to drop. After that, it didn't have much of a pullback. Some news came out, and then you had another impulsive leg. All right, and then to end the week, you see we got this bigger correction move. Possibly could be setting up for another drop. Like this is an area where we could potentially, price pull back into this level. So this is a level where price can potentially fall again. So I will watch this level for some type of, rejection to possibly catch another leg down. All right, but I'll be careful because, see here on the 4 hour, strong bullish engulfing. All right, closing back above this level, right, of support or demand. So it could be, and looking to the left, it's a lot of bullish price action right here. So it could be setting up to go further up, right? And that's actually what I'm leaning towards, especially after seeing this big bullish engulfing here on the 4-hour, and then the daily got a nice rejection. All right, so it could set up for another rise. All right, so but price could pull back possibly, and then maybe set up for another pump. So I would say just be patient and see how price set up trade what price shows you. Lastly, Euro JPY. Same thing with EJ. This was beautiful setup. I missed this one though. I was in GJ, but I was looking to trade this too. Man, it's like I took a nap, woke up, and they were all dumping. But I'm glad that I was in GJ, because really initially I sent this out in the Telegram and everything. Initially, I was expecting price to fall right here. You know, once I started seeing this like evening star type rejection, I saw it lining up GJ, EJ tend to correlate, especially when it's powered by yen. So we had a breakdown, but then price pulled up. On this pull up, we formed the evening star right here. That was an indication that price was holding and it was going to stay below. It was going to stay below basically this high that it made. All right. So that could have been your entry there as well, with your stop loss above here. Right. And you can see from there, price dropped over 340 pips. Beautiful setup. In this type of setup, it didn't really give much of a pullback. All right. But same thing, it did pull back to certain structure levels like here. Right. Low level of support right there. Price did break down, pulled back, retested there, and then continued. Right? Not much of a pullback here, big drop with news, and now you see prices closing back above structure. So similar to GJ, this is possibly setting up for a move up. Because if we look to the left, this is firm demand structure here, right? All right here, we got demand structure. So now price pulled down here, found support, got this bullish engulfing on the 4-hour. That could be a sign that price is going to hold support and demand, continue to go higher. Now, early in the week, it could possibly pull back some first, and then maybe set up for that move up. All right, so that's a potential opportunity I would look for, is potential buys on this now. All right, so we'll see how price develop and just play it by that. All right, so those are the pairs on my watch list for the week. I hope you get value out of that. I hope you help. Be sure to like and subscribe and tap in. Everything will be in the bio, in the link in the description below. All right, you can tap into the free Telegram. I post these setups, or you could tap into the VIP Discord, signals, sessions, and also training. All right. So I'll see you all on the next one. Let's get some pips.